Today is Friday, April 16th. This is the second period class recording for Math 1B. Make sure that if you didn't do the Wednesday check-in, I still want you guys to complete that survey because there's important questions on there I need to know the answers to. We should have marked our Monday and Tuesday pages done. We should have completed or viewed the part one for our test, live quizzes. Everybody should log into GradeCam because you will need to be submitting your answers for the unit review we're going to work on today. Wednesday page mark done. End of T5 survey submitted. I was very disappointed in the number of people that told me they could not think of a funny joke or just put IDK, I don't know any. Or a lot of people just said done. Y'all still put done, even though I told you to tell me a joke. Like you had a chance to be funny and you missed it. Completely missed it. So it was a little disappointing. I was hoping I would get some laughs. But we need to do better about reading and following directions because if I say type in a funny joke and then you put done, I was very close to taking your 5 points because I was giving you 5 points to be funny. And then we couldn't even do that. And you guys have the whole internet at your disposal. You're going to tell me you don't know any funny jokes. You have the whole internet. That was a little disappointing. I was looking forward to hearing some funny jokes. But anyway, part two of your test, make sure you submit the image of your score. You can see your score in Delta Math. If you did not submit the image of your score, I'm going to assume you didn't do it and give you a 0. And say that one more time. If you do not submit the image of your score for part 2 from Delta Math, I'm going to assume you didn't do it and give you a 0. Question? My score, but it just once I went back to the screenshot, it's gone. Okay, I'll look at it with you in a moment. Then we had, yes. Can you go in and put a comment? Okay. I'll take a look at it. Thank you for bringing that up. Next thing, Unit 6, test corrections. Who has their test corrections to give back to me? Question, Aiden?
It was for the Unit 6 test part 1. We didn't have to submit anything to that.
Nope.
Okay.
Who has test corrections to give to me? All right, understand if you left your test corrections at home and forgot to bring them today, then we missed our chance to get those graded. So you need to make sure that you bring stuff back if you took it home. So right now we're working on Delta Math. Then this QTNA. Did we talk about this yesterday? I believe we did. No, we didn't? Okay. So the QTNA, that just stands for questions that need answers. Have you guys heard that before? Some of you have, some of you haven't. Okay. So questions that need answers. It looks like this. You can add your comments. Anything about notes, assignments on paper goes here. So if you didn't get a copy of your review and you want a paper copy of your review, or if you didn't get a copy of the page to show your work and you want that page, that's really all we're doing on paper right now. Anything about Canvas. So if you're having trouble submitting stuff, if you're having trouble finding stuff, if you're having trouble finding your grade, those kind of things in Canvas, put those comments there. Anything about your online work. So if we're struggling with Delta Math, if we're struggling with quizzes, CUDA, whatever it is, online assignments, those comments go there. So now everybody need to pause what they're doing in Delta Math. You can leave your tab open because we'll probably have time to do it in class. Open the QTNA. If you have any comments, concerns, or questions about paper notes, Canvas, or online assignments, take this time to leave those comments now. Then don't. Does anybody have any they're typing stuff in? Okay, if we don't, I'm not gonna have us a whole bunch of time on that. So now we're gonna open the unit 1 through 3 EOC review assignment, leave it, go to your live dashboard where I should have 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Who are my 4 people that are not there yet? I see Brooke, Aiden, Neoli, Maddie. I'm not in here. Okay, let's get there. Grace, I see you. Did I not do it? I don't think I counted right. 3. Nope, I didn't count right. It's not 14, it's 11. All right, so if you do not have a board marker and eraser, go get that now unless you want to show your work on paper. If you want to show your work on paper, get your journal out, open the blank page. This review is on lines. So we're looking at stuff like this, if it loads eventually. So do we know slope-intercept form? Can we identify the slope? Can we identify the y-intercept? Can we write the equation? Can we figure it out from the graph? Slope-intercept form again. Understanding the slope. And yeah, more stuff with slope. So this should be pretty easy. 10 questions. This should not take us longer than 15 minutes. It just shouldn't. It's not. There's not a lot of computation. You're not having to do word problems or anything like that. All right, are we ready? Good, good. Oh, come on. All right, we're gonna pause the video. All right, so we played a bunch of Quizlet live, not Quizlet, quizzes live. We did some slope and equations, we did some expressions, and we did some order of operations. And our main objective was to earn an 80% so everybody could get candy. And we accomplished that. So these notes are a little blurry because it is printed 2 pages to a page. So you might need to go full screen and try and like leave it like that big and then just maybe squint a little bit. Because if you zoom in too much, it's going to be blurry. So everybody have their unit review out on their desk. And we either have the file open or we can be looking at the board. We only have about 5 minutes left in class, so we're not going to spend a whole bunch of time on this because this is going to be your homework over the weekend. I went through this late last night to give you guys prompts, and I even worked out a few of them to show you how to get the answer for the first couple. Like when we're solving equations by elimination, anytime we see elimination as a solving strategy, that means we need to add the equations together and force one of the variables to cancel out. So we should always look for opposite signs. So notice here y has opposite signs. So that's going to be the easiest one for me to cancel. So I multiply my top equation by 2. So I'm going to multiply my top equation by 2. And I rewrote it down here. So after I multiplied, I wrote it right there. So this is the same equation. I just multiplied it times 2. And then we added them together, and that's how I got this, because y's cancel out. That was our objective. And I find x equals 4. So even from right there, if I know for a fact that I did that first step correct, we could stop there because only one answer choice has x equals -4 as a solution. But if we're wanting to be double and triple sure, we can plug in x equals -4 for x in one of my equations to then find y to be -5. Does anybody have a question about solving the system by elimination. So on your work shown page, whether you're doing it on a loose leaf sheet of paper or on this packet that I gave you, you at the very least need to show the top part where we get x equals -4. The second part to find y, that part's optional. It's important for us to understand that's what you have to do to find y, but for this answer choice, because we only had one answer with an x value of -4, we could eliminate all the others as being wrong answers. Does that make sense? All right. Number 2. I did this one in Desmos. We can jump over and look at what that looked like. Oh, why does that look like that? So here I put this in Desmos. You can type it in exactly as it's given. We don't have to solve for y. We don't have to set it equal to 0. We don't have to do anything. Type the equations in exactly as they are. To find the intersection in Desmos, you click, and it'll pop up as a gray point. If you hover, it'll show you the point. If you click it, it'll turn black and stay bolded. So the solution here, -2, 6. So for your explanation, when we do this in Desmos, we're looking for find where the lines cross. And our solutions always order pair x, y. So if you're going to use Desmos, that's how we can do that one. For this one, if we were going to do this one algebraically, it would make the most sense to do it very similar to how we did number 1, to where if I have 2x plus y equals 2 and -3x minus 2y equals -6, I can multiply this top equation by 2 and my y's will cancel. So I'll get 4x plus 2y equals 4. And then when I add these, I get x equals -2. So here, because A also has x equals -2, I would need to plug this in to solve. That's why sometimes if a question like this was on your calculator active section of your test, I would put it in Desmos. If it's not, then we would need to plug in x to find y. Questions on number 2? All right, bells, butts, ring. We can pack up.